So the trip was great. I had a flight from Baltimore to Dallas, Dallas to Beijing, and then from Beijing to Seoul. Um, the first one went really smoothly and was pretty quick. And then when we got to Dallas, it was like, I think less than 10 minutes until boarding was going to start. And so I had to run through the Dallas airport, and there was a really cool, like tram, like a sky tram that went around the airport. And so I was able to jump on that and go all the way around to the opposite end of the airport. And when I got to the plane, they were calling for their last boarding members because they had already kind of gotten everybody on the plane already. So I got to my seat, and it was an emergency aisle seat. Nobody had gotten the two seats next to me. I had the window seat, and there was like 5 feet of leg room. So it was great. And that was probably the best flight, even though it was so long. There was like a snack area right by where I was sitting and a bathroom. So if I needed to get up, it was all right there, so I could stay in my seat until one of those areas was available if I needed to use it, which was awesome. And then I got Wi-Fi for the whole flight. So I got a little bit of work done and was able to stay pretty entertained for the rest of the time. And when we got to Beijing, the time change was crazy. It was like, let's see, it had gone, I think at that point, 13 hours into the future from my normal time. And so my stomach was a little upset, so I needed to get something to eat. And I got some chicken wings and iced tea from a place that looked like it was trying to be like a Irish pub or something like that. And so they were pretty good, but I could only eat a little bit of it because I didn't want to make myself sick. So then I went to get on the flight, and that was pretty smooth too. Although when I first got to the Beijing airport, actually, I had to go through. It's like you go up to a counter and show them your passport and everything, and tell them that you're just transferring to a different flight, but you still have to go through security. So they take your picture, you go down to another area, and then they take your picture again and check your passport and your flight ticket and stamp it, and then you go through. There's like a ton of people, but there's only 2 places to go through. Actually, only one security detector, like a metal detector or something to go through, and you put your bags through. They were putting people's bags through like 3 or 4 times because someone was sitting there and watching them, and they would put them through too quick, so they'd have to do it over and over. And then, so they did confiscate my portable recharger that I just gotten at like TJ Maxx for like $10, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But one of the Chinese guys that was going through came up to me afterwards and was like, "That was so stupid." So that was reassuring that it wasn't like abnormal, but they were confiscating a lot of stuff. So I was just relieved to have gotten through. So yeah, then the last flight was only an hour and a half long from Beijing to Seoul, and it was only an hour and a half, but they did a full meal on the flight and full drink service. The water came in like a weird little, it looked like a Jello container, like a little thing with a tinfoil lid. So that was really strange. I hadn't seen that before. And something about opening it, like you just expect there to be Jello inside, but it was water. And so then when we finally got to Seoul, I'm expecting like a lot of, well, it wasn't Seoul, it was Incheon Airport. And it was not difficult at all to go through customs. It was pretty fast, and they just check your passport, took your fingerprints, and took a picture of you. They made me take my glasses off for whatever reason. And so then it was really quick going through. I went to the bathroom and went to my station to pick up my luggage, and it came through like right away. And when I went through, Alanna was waiting there. And so it was really exciting. And then we went back to Hwacheon to our apartment, but we stopped at a gas station And the gas station had like a restaurant with different departments where you could pick up like bibimbap or ramen. And so we both got ramen because my stomach was a little upset. I needed to eat something. And they have these really interesting like sanitized stations with like metal cups and water for you to get, which is kind of awesome. Instead of having to ask for like a paper cup for water like I usually do at fast food or something in the US. And so that was really good. And then we went through their little convenience store area, and they had there was like weird flavors of gum, and Alanna got something that was like it was like kimbap, but it was like a triangle. So it was rice and seaweed, and like rice wrapped in seaweed in the shape of a triangle. But she really likes those. I don't know. It had tuna in it, and it looked like canned tuna, so that just kind of seemed weird to me. If it was like raw tuna, I think maybe it would be good, like sushi or something. But yeah, so then I made it almost all the way back to Hwacheon before I got really sleepy. And when we got back, she opened some of the stuff that I brought for her from America. Like half of my suitcase was stuff for her that she can't get over here. And a couple of Christmas gifts and things. So got that all done, and then we got a pretty good night of sleep, like 7 hours, and got up and just kind of took the morning really slow. And then went into Hwacheon for the day. We went to a really cool ice sculpture, like huge display of ice sculptures, so huge. Even with a slide you could go down that was all ice. And into a couple little stores, and we got dinner and drove around and looked at the lights because by then it was dark and it was really pretty. And yeah, so pretty good so far, and it's only really been one day, so we got a lot of stuff to do still, but it's been really neat. The very interesting thing when we were driving on the interstate, though, was that they have these mannequins set up on the sides of the road, and they have lights flashing, so it looks like they're like waving at you, but it's just a mannequin. It looks like it's a road worker, like they're dressed up like road workers. So it was really strange, but yeah, so that's day one so far, so I'll keep you posted.